Welcome to this explainer. All right, let's just dive right in. You've made the leap, right? You've got solar panels up there, you're doing your part for the environment, and hopefully you're slashing those giant electricity bills. It's a fantastic investment. But here's a pretty crucial question for you. Are those panels actually paying off right now, or are they literally just sitting on your roof collecting dirt? Today, our whole mission is to make sure you're squeezing every single drop of energy out of what you paid for.
25%. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. That is a staggering number. That's the amount of power, and by extension, the amount of your hard-earned cash you could be losing right this very second, just because of dirty panels. It's a massive, massive hit to your system's efficiency, and the crazy part is it's happening completely silently right above your head.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover 1, the cost of grime, 2, roof safety and risks, 3, choosing the right tools, 4, safe cleaning step by step, and finally 5, when you really just need to call a pro. Let's get to it. Section 1, the cost of grime. Is your roof draining your wallet?
Okay, so there's this really huge misconception out there. A lot of folks think, hey, it rains, so nature just kind of washes the panels totally clean for me. It's like the ultimate set it and forget it myth, right? But actually, scratch that. It doesn't work that way at all. In reality, rain only really washes off the loose, fluffy dust. For everything else, rain basically just spreads the pollen around into a paste, leaves these crusty salt films, and literally bakes things like bird droppings right onto the hot glass. You need a proper clean, not just a gentle sprinkle from Mother Nature.
So what exactly is clinging to your panels up there? We're talking dust from dry spells, leaves and pollen that just plaster themselves to the glass, salt spray if you're lucky enough to live near the beach, smoke from bushfires, and sticky tree sap. But the absolute worst offender? Bird droppings. I swear, birds seem to have this personal vendetta against clean, shiny things. And even a single bird dropping is a massive problem because it casts a tiny shadow on the solar cell. And because of how these panels are wired together, that one little shadow doesn't just block sunlight for that specific spot, it actually drags down the power output of the nearby cells too. Crazy, right?
Now you might be wondering, well, how do I actually know it's time for a clean? The good news is you don't even have to grab a ladder to check. You can spot the warning signs straight from the safety of your driveway. Are you noticing lower power output? Are those power bills creeping higher? Can you physically see visible dirt, water spots, or maybe a weird yellow pollen coating from the ground? Also, if your system has a monitoring app, look for an unexpected drop in performance on what should be a perfectly sunny day. Seriously, I encourage you, right after this, go check your recent electricity bills or your inverter readout.
Moving on to Section 2, roof safety and risks. Proceed with extreme caution.
Okay, let's get really serious for a minute. Here are the fatal mistakes you absolutely must avoid. First up, never ever walk or step on the panels. I know they look tough, but they're not invincible. Stepping on them can bend the mounts, crack the glass, or, and this is the sneaky part, create tiny, completely invisible microfractures. You won't even know you broke anything, but it will slowly, silently kill your panel's performance over time. Also, never stand on a wet roof. Water turns those tiles into an absolute ice rink. Do not spray cold water on hot panels, because that rapid temperature shock will literally shatter the glass. Avoid windy weather entirely, and finally, never use a pressure washer. It blasts water right past the protective seals and will completely void your warranty. Just don't do it.
A professional clean costs less than a hospital visit. I love that quote because it really hits the nail on the head. Or a new panel, for that matter. Steep roofs are incredibly dangerous, especially when they're wet. Please do not risk your life just for a slight little bump in solar efficiency. Section 3, choosing the right tools, building your safe cleaning arsenal.
All right, so when you're picking out your tools, the main goal is to remove the grime without scratching that precious glass. Your safe, approved arsenal should include soft microfiber cloths, a nice, gentle garden hose, a rubber squeegee, an extension pole so you can reach everything safely, and a soft bristle brush. On the flip side, you want to keep wire brushes, abrasive pads, and steel wool as far away from your roof as possible. Also, absolutely no harsh chemicals or glass cleaners that have ammonia in them. And like we just talked about, pressure washers are a huge, massive no-go.
Which brings us to Section 4, safe cleaning step by step, the core methodology. So if you're doing this yourself, here is your highly structured 5-step checklist. Step 1, and this is absolutely the most critical part, shut down the system. Dig out your manual and make 100% sure the power is off. Mixing water with live electrical equipment? Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. Step 2, pick a cool time. Early morning is definitely best so you aren't spraying cool water onto baking hot glass, which, again, causes shattering. Step 3, spray the loose dirt off using just a really gentle hose pressure. Step 4, wipe it down gently. Use your soft sponge or a microfiber mop in smooth, easy motions so you don't scratch anything. And finally, step 5, give it a final rinse to wash away any of that remaining sticky dirt or soapy film. Now, here's a question we see come up all the time. People always want to know, can you use vinegar to clean your solar panels? I mean, it's a super common household cleaner, right? But is it actually safe for this stuff on your roof? Well, the short answer is yes, it works, but you've got to follow a few really strict rules here. You must mix it very carefully with water. Never, ever use it full strength. You should really only use it rarely, basically just targeting those super tough, stubborn stains. You have to rinse it extremely well afterwards. But most importantly, always check your specific manufacturer's guide first, because honestly, most of them will tell you that plain old tap water is the absolute best thing to use. And that leads us into Section 5, when to call a pro, protecting your investment. Look, the absolute most crucial point here is just knowing your own limits. You should outsource this job immediately if your roof is steep, if it's 2 stories high, or if the panels are just plain hard to reach safely. Definitely call a pro if you spot any visible damage or cracked glass while you're doing your ground inspection. Also, if you live in an area with constant bird traffic or heavy tree debris, or, quite frankly, if you're just not comfortable up at heights, don't push it, don't do it. Professionals come equipped with the proper safety harnesses, specialized ladders, and the kind of expertise that ensures you stay safe and that your warranty stays totally intact. Oh, and here's a point that gets completely overlooked almost all the time. Everyone gets so fixated on the shiny panels that they totally forget about the roof underneath them. But solar maintenance is roof maintenance. So during your visual checks, be on the lookout for broken tiles, loose caps, rusted metal, or even just blocked gutters. Catching those little structural issues early on prevents massive, super expensive problems down the road, and it makes sure the structural integrity of your panel mounts stays solid. So, you're probably asking, how often should I actually be doing all of this? Well, here's a pretty clear timeline for you. If you live near a beach with a lot of salt spray, a busy road, or in an area with heavy dust, you're going to want to aim for a clean about every 6 months. Now, for most average homes with just standard everyday exposure, every 12 months is perfectly fine. But really, the golden rule is to clean them as needed, especially after major events like bushfires, nearby construction, or if you simply spot a dip in your power output. Keeping an eye on your app's power output is literally the absolute best guide you have. Which brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. I really want you to ask yourself, is your roof quietly draining your wallet right now? Don't let your fantastic investment go to waste under a gross layer of grime. Go pull up your monitoring app, take a look at your inverter, step outside, and just look up at those panels. Take action, follow the safe steps we covered today, and make sure your solar system is operating at absolute peak performance. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and hey, keep those panels shining.